Sarah and Max, an unlikely pair in this wild podcast, they're the perfect flair. Sarah's charm, so feminine and free, a Cali girl spirit under the podcast tree. Max a strong force with a punch in every word. Together they navigate this dating absurd. Don't forget to hit subscribe, join the crew for more laughs and tales just for you. Now back to the show.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Good for Shidduchim. I'm your host Sarah Levine, along with my co-host Max Landisman. Today we're going to talk about two controversial topics as we usually do.
Ooh, shidduchim.
And I wanted to dedicate this podcast to our beloved fish who died today.
Jordan.
His name is Jordan, and I have no idea. I have no idea what happened, but taking care of fish is very difficult. Whoever said fish were the easy pets is actually lying. They're very difficult.
Probably shot on him or something.
Maybe he was actually very ill for some time.
Oh, for some time you had it? Did you have it for more than 30 days?
I think it was exactly a month.
Because
it was Hanukkah time.
Okay.
So
because it's interesting, because if you got it before 30 days, you can get a refund. If it's like one day over, it's
true.
Get screwed.
I don't know. We got him during Hanukkah time. I think it was like a month and change, maybe.
It's funny because I was there when Shlomi bought the fish, and we asked the lady, like, what's the lifespan? Thinking it's like 4 days. She's like, oh yeah, it's about 4 years.
Yeah.
Turns out, yeah.
No. we had a dwarf gourami, and apparently they don't live so long, whatever. But I it was so sad to wake up to a dead fish.
Yeah.
Poor Shlomi had to deal with it, but
yeah. Oh, it's too bad.
yeah. So this episode is dedicated to Jordan. You'll be missed.
Yep. As a kid, we used to like have a funeral for a fish as a joke.
Oh. What would that entail?
Some stupid speech. That would obviously be a joke.
Wait, in your family?
No, it's just like my older brother's like, let's do
Mordechai.
whatever. Yeah, it's like stupid. But
no, there was no speeches. We kind of just, Shlomi just flushed him down the toilet.
It's not good for shidduchim. Yeah.
But anyways.
But we did have fish that did last for years, so it can happen.
I have a feeling our other fish, we have one more standing. And I feel like that other one, Sky, he's gonna power through.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think he'll be like alive for a couple years, like 10 years. He'll be like the mystery fish. Like we don't know why he's dying.
Im Yiratz Hashem.
Anyways, we just wanted to let you guys know we have an Instagram page. I think we have 23 followers. 25 followers.
Yeah.
It's good for shidduchim. We have really nice memes over there that Max takes care of, and they're pretty funny, and they're all about shidduchim.
Right, and the ones I can't post on Good for Shidduchim, I'll just probably post on my own.
Okay, yes, we have to censor some of them.
Yep.
We also have an email, which is goodforshidduchim@gmail.com, and shidduchim is SHIDDUCHIM. We also just wanted to have a shout out. It's not sponsored by anybody, but we had a really nice transaction, I would say, I guess, with Cafe Demi. I don't know. Okay. So Cafe Demi is really close to the office, and I just walked in there, and I asked them to just put up just a poster to spread the word on our podcast. And Dvorah, the owner, was just so sweet and was more than willing to do whatever she could do to promote the podcast for free. So that was really kind of her. She didn't really have to do that, but I will say they do have really good decaf lattes. I'm going through a caffeine cleanse right now, and a good decaf latte is very hard to come by.
I was wondering, because I'm like, it's in the middle of it's kind of, it's 2:45, you're doing decaf already.
Yeah. No, I'm not recaffeinating. It's a decaf, so it's really good. Everybody should check it out. Okay.
Yeah, so thank you, Cafe Demi. And it is a really nice place.
It is. It's really nice. It's very chic. Everything is very fresh.
They nailed it.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely good for shidduchim.
And it's good to take a date there. A nice day date.
That's true. So if Mocha Blue isn't fitting your fancy, there's always Cafe Demi.
yeah, I feel like Cafe Demi is a little better than Mocha Blue. It's just fresher, but it's also a different type of vibe.
It's very different, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very different.
All right, so today we're going to tackle 2 topics as we usually do,
That are controversial.
I
love it.
And I mean, we both love it, I think.
Yeah.
But the first idea that we wanted to dive into is if parents should be involved in dating at all, or should moms in general not be involved because sometimes they're over involved, and should the single whoever is in shidduchim, should they have some type of support system or involvement while dating? So Max.
So
Take it away.
strictly to parents or in general support system?
Well, let's tackle the parents. Like, let's do the parents first. Should parents be involved in dating? Do you feel like they're over involved? Should they be involved? Should they not be involved? To what degree should they be involved?
I remember when Shlomi started going out, and he was flying to New York from Miami to go meet this girl. And I remember he told my mom, it's like, by the way, I just want to let you know I'm going to be going to New York for a couple of days. She's like, why are you going to New York? He's like, oh, just to meet with some people. She's like, oh, okay, have fun. She doesn't even like ask questions, like nobody cares, whatever. My dad found out because he billed it to the Landisman family credit card.
Right.
Whatever. We were younger back then.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason But I definitely think parents should be involved. I'm kidding. Of course, everybody on this pod.
Oh my God.
You probably had a heart attack.
I literally almost just had a heart attack. Well, not a heart attack. I was like, do I not know Max Landisman?
Yeah. I think parents involved not only is horrible, it has literally destroyed matches. And we all know of people that, matches try to get presented to mothers, and first of all, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Why the hell is the mother checking out some girl that she thinks would be good for my shimmy? There's like countless examples of not only is it bad and I think it's just terrible, but how many times has this happened where an actual match that they ended up getting married, but at a later date and completely wasted a year or more, on just, I don't think he's good for my shimmy.
Right.
What the hell's the matter with you? Stop getting involved with your kids' dating, whatever. If somebody comes to you, in my opinion, if your kid comes to you and asks for some dating advice, that's fine. I'm very firm in believing that no one should make the decision of anyone other than the person, him or herself. It should come from them. You can give I think they can give your 2 cents and say, like, if I were you, this is what I would do. But you are the owner of your own life and you have full discretion. You shouldn't have your parents freaking filtering people, especially from resumes, which we'll get into, are completely useless anyways.
Right.
I went to a wedding and I was sitting next to, it ended up being, I was sitting next to, I was just about to give over information I feel like would destroy this, like would give over the name already.
Yeah,
But
don't do that.
That's fine. I was sitting next to, there's this older couple. I'd say they're probably in their late 50s, early 60s, whatever.
Okay.
The wife is sitting to my left and the husband is sitting to her left.
Okay.
And so we're just talking, and it was at a wedding. She starts talking about shidduchim, whatever.
What else is there to talk about?
Of course, right? And she talks about her own son when he was in shidduchim. And so she would get sent resumes and things of that nature. So she would be sorting through them. There was one girl who she was sent, and it said that she was Russian, right? I mean, it's very general. She's Russian. Okay, congratulations.
Okay.
According to her, she's like, she brought up a lot of random excuses, like, because she's Russian, she's XYZ, which I'm stating clearly here, those are all assumptions. You don't know anyone until you know them, right? Except, of course, if you're from the Upper West Side and dated 6,000 of them, you can confirm that it's probably not the greatest place that I should be dating in. But anyways, if you just say, Everyone's squinting their eyes right now. Just like, it's true.
Oh man.
I'm trying to,
Yes.
Anyways, yeah, the Upper West Side is not good for shidduchim.
Okay,
It's good
Max.
for other things. But anyways,
I feel like we could have just like a whole entire podcast
for
just
sure.
on the Upper West Side and what you feel, like your thoughts on the Upper West Side.
'cause I was deeply insulted
Okay.
when that happened.
We don't have
Whatever.
to talk about the Upper West Side.
Shidduchim.
But yeah, going
Anyways,
back to the resume.
So in my mind, even then, before definitely this podcast, whatever, in my mind, I'm like, why are you making such a generality? What the hell do you know about, because she's Russian, so therefore it's not good for your shimmy, whatever. I just
Right.
thought it was such a ridiculous, thing to say.
Well, she was doing, she was like just going off of what information was literally set in front of her.
It wasn't even that.
But
It was
she was judging it.
meaning, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but it's one step worse. Because it said Russian, she
She just
assumed Russians are a
generalized.
certain
Yeah.
way, and therefore she doesn't want to be involved. It
Yeah.
didn't even reference like, oh, it says she's family oriented, whatever. That's kind
Right.
of, it was
I
based on that.
understand.
So in my head, as she's saying the story, I thought it's ridiculous, and she could have. How do you know that? I don't remember if she was saying like everything seemed good, but she was Russian. I can't say that for sure.
Right.
But she went on that, and based on that, she said no. Why she's saying no to, first of all, why a mother is saying yes or no on behalf of your son or
Right.
daughter is ridiculous. Is most ridiculous.
Did she talk to her son before saying no to this
that's
woman?
The thing, they don't do that.
Oh,
as far
so
as I
she
know,
just said no.
The people that I'm familiar with, they don't. Yeah, they just say they don't even go to the guy.
So they don't even know.
They don't
Like
have
the
no
guy
idea.
doesn't even know.
No clue. Have no clue.
For
They don't
all you
ask-
know, he could be into Russians.
100%. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So could be blonde. Could be interesting.
It could be what he's been looking for.
Exactly. And so fast forward a year, right? He ended up meeting her like in person or some crazy event. And wouldn't you know?
They got
married a year later.
Oh, that's actually a nice story.
And so she's like, you know what? It's incredible how, it's just the way the world works.
Or how I was wrong.
Exactly. And in my head, I'm like, that's because you're a dumb schmuck. That's why. Look at what you did.
Right. But they did get together when they were supposed to. But you're saying it could have been done maybe a little more sooner. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Well,
but
yeah,
at the end of the day, the mom said no to somebody that he ended up with.
It's none of her damn business. Get
Right.
out of it. Stay out of it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree with you. I do feel like even sometimes, like, I do feel like these mothers kind of like live for it. Like they kind
100%.
of like the drama of going through the resumes and saying yes and saying no and having total control over what, like, even like either if their daughter's in shidduchim or their son's in shidduchim. I think there's like this kind of like excitement to the control of it and to like the drama of it. And I feel like that's a little sad. But also at the same time, I do feel like there are mothers out there. And when we say mothers, it's really usually mothers. Usually the fathers are not calling references and not as involved in shidduchim, right? For my
I guess
personal,
so. We'll get into the calling of references bull crap
right?
later.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
usually we're referencing
You're right. No, I
mothers
hear
because
that.
it's usually the mothers that are
Is it
involved.
like that also from the woman's side or just
Yeah, I mean,
guy side for sure?
right?
Guy side
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. The mothers are usually the ones that are very involved with the shidduchim process in general.
Right.
Fathers, I think, are kind of in the periphery, but usually not as involved as the mother.
Right.
But just going back to what you were saying is I do feel like there are some mothers that actually have a genuine good place and have a good heart and really do want the best for either their daughter or their son. But there is also it's hard to tell who's who in that area because you also have mothers that are like kind of make it their job and their drama of the day and like their excitement and like their control, which is definitely like not ideal. And I feel bad for whoever they're trying to represent because, like you said, they do backtrack a little bit from what is actually a potential good match.
100%. I do genuinely feel bad for people because even when they don't necessarily want to go through that path, they don't want their mother involved. And when things don't necessarily go through the mother, but it goes to them, they do feel, I've seen it personally, they do feel a need to let their mother know because they feel that if she finds out in some way that he went around their back, she's going to flip and they're never going to hear the end of it and will terribly hurt their mother, which is just, you never want to do that, but like, wow.
Right.
First of all, I never would want to be in that situation, but it's just like, it's ridiculous.
Right. You're saying to have the mother know that they're they're dating somebody.
I'm like, just letting you know I met someone, I'm going out with her. Yeah, just be aware. Oh, I haven't met him. Like, because we just went out, whatever. But it just, you can say it in a nice way. I would really appreciate it if you weren't so involved. I appreciate your involvement and you want the best for me. But I think this is where I feel comfortable. What do you feel like? What do you feel? I mean, how is he going to handle it?
Right. I'm just curious, like, why? I'll backtrack and say, for me in dating, my parents were 100% not involved at all.
Yeah.
Like, I also, they come from a background that they really don't understand the shidduch dating process. And also, right. And then also, I kind of didn't want like the extra sound around me. Like, I didn't want to hear what they had to say because I did have like a sense of self. And like, I felt like if I'm the one seeking like a spouse, why would my mother be seeking the spouse for me?
Right.
That's just how I felt about it. And I kind of don't understand, like, for me, I guess it's a certain ignorance of like really just not understanding and coming to the idea that like somebody representing you, I just don't understand it. It's completely foreign. Like I said, like if I'm getting resumes, I want to sort through them and like I'm the one that I'm looking for a spouse. So why would I have my mom do it for me? You know what I mean?
Incredible.
I honestly, like I said, I could just be ignorant, but I don't understand the concept of it. And I guess because people start dating at like, in some circles, 19, 20, like they're very busy maybe, and they feel like they can't go through all the resumes. And I know a lot of men feel like they're very overwhelmed. So they'll have the mother go through all these resumes, but I just don't understand the concept of somebody representing you and making decisions for you, because at the end of the day, don't you want to make your own decision on your spouse? And like, don't you want to see who is out there for you? And like, I just don't understand even the concept of having a mother or whoever you've decided to, represent you in like the shidduch process. Like, I just don't understand having that yes, no coming from your mother.
Yep, 100%. Athletes, celebrities have agents. That is in a totally different realm. It is the reason for them is to buffer out all the trash. Like random people are like, yeah, I want them to show up.
Well, yeah, they want to make appearances and like they want to make sure they're paid properly.
Exactly,
and
100%. It's negotiated well, and that nobody's wasting their time. There's a reason, like athletes and celebrities may not be the best business people in the world, whatever. The thing about shidduchim is freaking not, well, maybe some cases it is business, which again, I'm very against that too. Right. I'm only looking for the richest person. Go screw yourself. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah. And,
they should not be involved.
Right. I mean, they would, like when I would get a call from some, let's say I was a reference on somebody else's resume. I would get a call from a mother, and the mother's asking me all these questions. And I also felt like a little uncomfortable because I don't know. It's like, well, usually, I don't know. It's just usually a very uncomfortable situation to be in. Like, I'm trying to talk about my friend who's the best, and like, I want to give her encouragement, and I want to go out with whoever the other guy is on the other side. But at the same time, I felt like I was interrogated. I was being interviewed, and like I felt like I had to like fight for my friend to go out with this guy, And I was like, I just don't like the feeling of this mother being. You're coming off extremely biased on the other side. Like the mother's obviously biased. Nobody's good enough for my son, and then she comes off as like, okay, well, prove that she's good enough for my son. That's how I was that's how I was feeling on the other side.
Makes sense. Any chance we can get a little, do you remember any of the questions she was asking or? Because I've seen conversations.
Well, it
like,
was asked about me.
She's asking about you.
No. So my friend, when I was dating, got a reference call about this woman was calling on behalf of her son, and she asked me about my dress size.
What about you?
About my dress size, yeah.
Your dress size, who she's not.
Yeah.
Who's not.
She's not going out. Well, obviously, she's not going out with him.
I'm going to take a moment. Whoever that woman is her house needs to be egged immediately. What a douchebag.
Okay, well,
Freaking
first of all,
ridiculous.
I'm not the only girl that this happens to.
But
and
I've heard of dress size, but when they ask the person they're inquiring about, not the person they're talking to who's a friend of the person they're inquiring about. What the hell does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, no, so this mother called my friend who was a reference.
Oh, you're saying she called your friend.
Yeah.
She called your friend to ask about you.
To ask about me.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I completely misconstrued it.
That's okay.
It sounded like she called you to ask about your friend.
No, but I mean, it's kind of the same. But no. So she called, sorry, maybe I wasn't so clear, but she called my friend, and in a lot of the odd questions my friend had told me, she was like, it was just an odd call from a mother, but she did say that she asked about basically like my dress size, and
I forgot what to say about that.
And,
not all of it I can say on this podcast.
Well, my friend was like, if your son is asking about dress size, like, it's not a good fit for my friend. She's not going to go out with somebody who's asking those questions. And she kind of just stopped the call there. But it's just interesting because you're trying to have a representation for those who do want to have their mother involved in representing them, in being the middleman and calling references and working hard on that. I guess to a degree I kind of understand it, but you also have to make sure that they're representing you, that there's no flaws in the representation, or that you check in with your mom every single time. I don't understand these parents that don't even let their son in the loop of who they're, or daughter in the loop. They just say no to these people and they don't even know. I don't understand.
Yeah. I get if, I could definitely see someone not feeling comfortable or whatever. You want someone else to kind of reach out about references is one thing. I'm not into the whole reference game anyways. I think it's completely useless, and we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But the fact that legitimately the guy has no clue as to what's going on, having your mother turn down girls or say yes to girls on your behalf is, in my opinion, outrageous, is absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
As far as asking about dress size, I will say this. I'm going to try to be as clean as possible.
Please.
But when stuff like that happens,
Yes.
I start to mess around a little bit. And
I can see that happening.
Give them a little taste of their own
entertain
medicine.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So they would ask, what size, what's her dress size? I'm like, okay, that's interesting. May I ask what size your son's thing is?
You can't.
Why? Why not?
First of all, she would probably know the answer.
She would know. Okay, if she knows the answer, that's a bigger problem.
Okay.
In reality.
Or maybe the shoe size. You could ask.
No.
Shoe size.
Here's how by the way, for all of you who think that what I just said is, how could you say that bullcrap, whatever, I'm very well aware of what I said. And the reason I say it is to prove a point. There are certain things you should not ask.
Right.
If you want to see a picture, that's totally fine. I get that. Guys are into that. And I get it. That's fine. Dress size is just way too much. You want to know a measurable figure that you are interested in. You want to know dress size, fine. Maybe the girl wants to know what size that thing is. Maybe that's important to her.
Maybe.
In that sense, well, it's so different. No, it's not actually, because you believe that what this mother asked is absolutely insane, and I totally agree with you. So maybe you want to know a certain measurement from the other side. You may think it's totally fine. She may think it's ridiculous, but that's the point. So that she says, like, that's so inappropriate. Like, that's also inappropriate to ask what her dress size is. It's essentially slapping them in the face and telling them, you can't just say that.
Right.
Unfortunately, what I think is what is going on is, and this is where when people say, well, this is how the system is, I have to conform to that. Bullcrap. The reason why you feel you have to conform to it is because everyone is conforming to it. Meaning if someone actually stood up, more than just one person, and said, that's a really inappropriate question, and go screw yourself, don't ever call me again. Imagine if people asked that question and everybody said that. No one would ever ask that question ever.
Right. Well, that actually kind of segues actually into our next conversation, which is, are resumes a thing of the past?
In reality, they're not a thing of the past. I just think that they're...
I think they're, quote unquote,
people use resumes.
Dated.
People use resumes.
People do use resumes, but I do think it's a dated concept. And like, to go off what you were saying is resumes in itself, I feel like, are also kind of dated in that certain way. It's like a lot of people who don't like the resume process, who think resumes are stupid, they really should come together. They really should stand up for themselves and be like, this is actually not representing me. And I just want to go with, you know, a name, a number, maybe where I live. And like, that's it. Like,
but they don't.
Right,
which is the problem.
Because the community in itself is very into resumes. They're very into having these like almost job resumes.
And you know what's funny? Because I'm in that world of I've seen professional resumes. I'm talking like $1,200 resume, just a resume.
Well, this is what you do, right? This is your line of work.
Right. It's actually very similar as far as you're putting on, yes, one's very personal, like your personal life, and the other one is more career. The difference between a trash resume and a good resume is the following. Trash resumes list the same bull crap. They don't get into specifics, and they just list what we call buzzwords. He's a team player, right? He's a hard worker.
Right.
Like nobody else is a hard worker. He's a team player, right? Do you see on shidduch resumes? By the way, there's two types of shidduch resumes: one with a blurb and one without a blurb.
The about me section. Is that what you're talking about?
The more yeshivish you get, the more often you'll see there is no blurb at all. It's a piece of paper listing your family history. Does this guy have, fungus on his left toe or not? Like, I care. Actually,
what is your dad's Hebrew name? What is your mom's Hebrew name? What do they do?
What do they do, right? I'm just asking because I want to know if you come from money or not. Right? And I've said this before, that I've heard that guys would ask for an address to look up how big the house is.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, talk about size. It's unbelievable. It
How
runs me
would
the
they
wrong way.
see it? On Google Maps?
Yeah, it's easy.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
No,
Right. You're still learning how to use Google, whatever.
I never would have thought of that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's easy.
But it would have his home number, like where they live?
Yeah, the address.
Because mine would be an apartment building, because that's where I live.
Well, not everyone's from the Upper West Side.
Well, I'm not from the Upper West Side.
I know, but your apartment building was in the Upper West Side, right?
Yeah, but if you would Google me and look at it, you'd be like, she lives in a dump. But like, that's not where I'm from.
Well, I'd say the people that are most likely typing in where they live or whatever are not going to date a girl from the Upper West Side. Just reality.
Gotcha.
And
so I already have a strike.
That's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
it's big striking though. Yeah. Which, by the way, as much as I'm against everything we're talking about, a strike against someone in the Upper West Side, I totally agree with. So it just happens to be I'm so lucky that was able to kind of make this shidduchim. Shidduch. But anyways, in regards to the resume, so they'll list team player, hard worker, all the bull crap. Family oriented. How many times family oriented? I've got all these resumes as examples to show you. The whole thing says family oriented.
Oh my God,
is nice.
you have resumes?
Yeah.
Okay, let's read one.
That people sent me over the years. But all right, before I show it.
What, like girl resumes?
Yep.
Oh
yep.
my gosh.
I'm not saying names or whatever.
Yeah, don't say names.
They're just so generic.
Okay.
So just to finish off as far as resumes go, bad resumes just say those buzzwords. What a good resume does that's so different than any other is Don't tell me, show me. The good resumes show you. You want to like, show that she's a giver, that she cares about people in need. Don't tell me she cares about people in need. Show me she cares about people in need.
She volunteered at this and this place. Or
No,
like,
that's not even. So yes, volunteer, but what's even better to make it. By the way, anyone who does this will immediately stand out in the entire shidduch world.
Okay.
I guarantee you that.
Okay, wait. So what is it?
So say stuff like helped raise $30,000 for XYZ camp or this or whatever.
Getting more specific.
Quantifiable results. Anything that you can talk about specifics can show you that, what happens if you don't raise. I'm not even talking about it has to be the biggest deal in the world. But let's say you want to show that you're a giver, but also you're into fitness. How many women say, they exercise regularly because they think guys, and I'm sure a lot of guys are looking into that, but just by stating that you go to the gym is stupid.
So be more specific about it.
If you can also be indirect about it. If you said, I ran 17 marathons in the last 6 months.
Oh.
You're not telling me you live an active lifestyle. You're showing me you have an active lifestyle.
Oh, that's a
You're
good
also
point.
showing that you're involved in these giving projects and all these things. You can even kill two birds with one stone. My point is that don't tell me, show me. Show me you are.
If you have a resume, don't make it so generic.
So stupid and generic. Exactly.
The only
100%.
thing is I feel like sometimes shadchans are like, you have to have it this way. You have to have it
I know.
that way.
It happened to me early on when I
Yeah.
first started, which I think what really makes me unique is that even if I'm a modern guy today, let's say, by the way, I'm still like actually from like, I don't eat dairy out and say, what are you doing for Shabbat?
Okay.
Or any of that
but
bull
it's
crap.
okay if you do.
Whatever.
It's
fine.
okay if you do.
Yeah, maybe.
We may have to take that out, Max.
I don't know.
Yes.
Fine. We can piss, whatever.
No,
Upper West
because
Side.
no, Max, because people on the podcast may be from that background.
All right, if you say it, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You can do whatever you want. I just may think differently.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with what we're
People
talking
know
about
I'm not
right now.
Fine, whatever. Anyways.
Okay, Max, so do you want to read some of the resumes?
Oh my gosh, do I? All right, so here we go. I'm a very friendly and outgoing person. I am growth oriented and always looking to become closer to Hashem. I just love Hashem. So, all right, continuing. I love music, reading, learning, playing volleyball, and being outdoors in nature. I'm really close with my family and love spending time with them. Giving is my nature, and it is a quality I'm looking for in a partner as well. I'm looking for someone who is kind, has a positive outlook on life, and is not judgmental of others. Like nobody else is, lady, whatever. Someone who is spiritual, growth-oriented, and strives for all his actions to be according to Torah. All right, so Sarah asked me kindly that I don't add my 3 cents while I'm reading it because it sounds like all one. I did whatever.
Yeah.
I said a few things, but okay, so let's just go over it real quick. Mm-hmm. I'm very friendly. There are non-friendly people that write I'm very friendly.
I mean, and also, what are you going to write? I'm not a friendly person.
Exactly. Okay, fine, friendly, whatever. And an okay, she's an outgoing, right? The problem is that they don't know what guys are looking for. This doesn't sell anything.
Right.
Like,
well, she's conforming to what the shadchan told her to write, honestly. Like, in her defense, I don't know who it is.
I remember.
I don't even see a picture.
I remember my own case when I met with a shadchan for the very first time, and she was asking me about certain things, like, what am I looking for, this and that, and I would say one thing, and she's like, okay, we're going to write family-oriented. I remember to this day, we're going to write family-oriented, and they would just spin it their own way. It's all the same bull crap.
Yeah.
It's all the same. It doesn't describe anything. When she talks about, I love music, reading, learning, playing volleyball, and being outdoors in nature. In reality, that doesn't help make a match, doesn't get a guy to want to go out with you. I'm sorry.
Well, also, if you are the guy that's receiving this resume, you also don't really care if she's outdoors, right?
Correct. But let's say someone is looking for someone in the outdoors. Okay, fine. She likes read. I mean, like, who cares? She likes reading. She likes I mean, come on, people.
I mean, it's all very generic.
Playing volleyball. If you played volleyball once, she might write that. Playing volleyball. How often you play volleyball? Were you part of a team?
It's almost like you don't trust the resume itself.
It's all bullcrap.
Right.
Doesn't say anything. And being outdoors in nature. What does that mean exactly? Does that, you could say being outdoors in nature could also mean you won't actually go, meaning the person that is looking for someone in the outdoors would go camping probably, things like that. Be more specific, I would say. But again, like as a guy, at least to me, this actually is a turn off rather than a turn on.
Did you go out with this girl?
What do you think?
Yes, I think you did.
She's a speech language pathologist. I mean, my favorite. I don't even remember.
Oh.
I actually cut off her name. I don't even know who this girl is.
Oh, but, so you don't even remember if you went out with her?
No. No. I heard that she's family oriented.
Okay.
But, okay, congratulations. Giving it great. I'm looking for someone who is kind, like nobody else is, right? I'm looking for someone that doesn't describe anything, has a positive outlook. In an ideal world, yes, we would all like to be with someone probably who has a positive outlook, but that doesn't do anything for the cause here.
Right.
I'm looking for someone with a positive outlook. A mother who's reading, it's just bullcrap. It just doesn't help.
Does she have a picture?
I don't know. Maybe there was a picture.
Okay.
But there's nothing here.
Okay. Do you want to read another resume?
Let's do it. All right. Is modern Orthodox, Shomer Shabbos, and kosher. Okay, that's good. She's very passionate about giving back and helping others. Wow. Loves learning new things, traveling, going to Broadway shows, and spending time with family. I love the family and friends thing. She is looking for someone who is genuine, kind, and passionate about what he does. She would like someone who knows how to have fun and can make her laugh, but can also have deep conversations, and also is rich. I'm joking, that was my thing. She wants someone who is family-oriented, there it is, and spiritually committed to Judaism as well. Congratulations. Yeah, you're looking for a good, solid dude who happens to be Jewish.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
You could have said that in a lot shorter. So, blah, blah, blah is 26 and is in law school at NYU. It's already on and lives downtown near school. She's smart, ambitious, friendly. By the way, it doesn't show that she's smart or ambitious. And again, I care. I don't care.
I feel like if you're in NYU law school, though, that shows a little bit of, you are a little elitist, I guess. I don't know.
Nerds.
Sure, but you have to be very smart in order to get in there.
Who else do I know that went to NYU?
I have no idea.
Oh, you didn't go to NYU?
I did not go to.
Oh, you work at NYU. Fine.
I didn't
Never
go
mind.
to NYU.
All right, fine. Here it is. By the way, I looked up these things up by typing in family oriented, and they were all highlighted. There's so much.
Oh my God.
She's very family oriented and close with her siblings and parents. Judaism is very important to her. She davens every day and is looking for a guy who's on a similar page. And by the way, after reading one or two more, I'm going to write what I wrote, what people are really looking for when they say about this.
Oh, okay. But so Max, what are you saying in terms of writing a resume? If you do want to write a resume,
you should write specifics. If you can write quantifiable results, even better. Again,
if you're
the bottom line is, don't tell me, show me. It's a very simple term.
So if you want if a girl is very outdoorsy, she likes to hike. Okay, fine. Instead of saying you're outdoorsy, you like the outdoors and you like to hike, say
I go to Lake Tahoe 3 times a year.
Or you try to find camping trips with your friends,
No, I don't like that. No, it's too generic.
What do you mean?
I try to find
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I make it a point to go camping twice a month with my friends.
Okay, we're getting better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see that, okay, so that's important to her and that she does actually like camping.
Right.
Or every Sunday she makes a point to go on a 5-mile hike every Sunday.
Much better. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just say it, be very stern about it. I run what do you call it? Whatever. I run 5 miles every Sunday.
Like a marathon?
Or whatever you do. I go running every day at least 5 miles.
Oh, okay.
That's substance and strong language.
Gotcha. Okay.
If you're looking for someone who's super into exercise.
So what about oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying if that's actually a thing, it's not right.
She could say I did a half a marathon or 2 years ago, and I feel really accomplished from that, and I want to continue my goal to do a full marathon. Something like that.
Try to condense. I kind of want it as a it's kind of like a bullet point. It's kind of like a resume where it's just short and to the point.
Yeah, short and to the point.
What I would do is no matter what you say or whatever.
What about for the family oriented people though?
What are you trying to say here? What are you trying to say?
But what should they say? Like, they love people?
You're family oriented.
Or get rid of it?
Typically people are family oriented looking for a spouse. Yeah, we're typically family oriented.
Gotcha.
Congratulations.
Or down to earth.
Down to earth. Don't tell me, show me. How are you down, how?
Right.
Whatever you end up writing, what I would do is read it to yourself and ask yourself, is this showing what I want it to show, right? Does this prove that I actually am an outdoorsy person? If I just say, I like the outdoors, what the hell does that mean?
Right.
Someone tell me to write that? Who the hell,
Right.
So
that's actually some good, that is very good advice.
People pay $1,200 for a resume like this. I'm giving this to you for free.
Yeah. It is good advice. But the thing is like our shadchans, once you put this on a resume, let's say they take your advice and they put it on a resume, our shadchans going to be like, no, this isn't
I'll tell
true.
you a story. Someone asked me for a resume. You know my typical, you ask me for a resume, go screw yourself. I'm not dealing with this. But for whatever reason, whenever I would give in, I'd send them like a bullcrap resume.
Oh, okay.
In this case, I literally just took my job resume and then sent them that.
Yeah.
And just like added a few things about I daven 3 times, and skills skills is like looking at the right birding hips, but I'm thinking about a resume or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
As a joke.
Okay.
And the girl actually on the date said like, your resume was like really impressive. Like I feel like I'm really behind and I really need to update mine. I sent it in as a joke.
It was your work resume?
It was my job resume.
Oh my God.
I did it as a complete joke. She was so serious about like, yours was so good. Like I couldn't stop laughing. I was in shock. I
can't
not
believe
believe
she
it.
brought it up on the date.
And they take it seriously.
They took it so seriously.
Oh my Lord, these people just...
Well, my question then is, at the end of the day then, it sounds like both of us are just not for having a resume. They are kind of a moot point, kind of a little ridiculous. But what should then take or represent a single person? Like, what is the alternative to having a resume?
Oh man, that's like a separate episode in and of itself. Because what happens when, how do you even get involved with resumes, right? Someone meets you in shul. They ask if you're single. Hey, can you send me your resume? Hey, can you send me your resume? Hey, can you send me your resume? Hey, why don't you get to know me a little bit? Why don't you we're talking right now. Why don't you talk to me? What the hell do you need a piece of paper for?
Right.
Right? One person after one of our first episodes, actually, a friend of ours, he reached out and is actually like very pro resume and all these things. And I'm like, what, great. Like you have a perspective. I'd love to have him on the podcast. Unfortunately, he's going through some health issues right now. He can't make it. But in general, like if there are people out there, like if you're a shadchan who has completely opposite views of everything we're saying, I'd love to have you on, by the way, for the record.
Yeah.
So if you want to come on, and you want to kind of speak your side, we're more than happy to have you. Just reach out, goodforshidduchim@gmail.com. But as far as, I'm going to give you just a tidbit of what I'm trying to say about. So if you don't have a resume, what do you do?
Right.
I'm very against just setting people up. If you don't know them, then don't get involved.
Really? If somebody in shul is like, hey, I really do have somebody, it may be a good match for you. What, like, instead of being like, hey, do you have a resume? What should they ask for? Just your number?
Why do you feel it's a good? I mean, who's coming up to a random stranger?
Not a random. Well, like you said, like in shul, people would come up to you and be like, hey, start talking with you, right? And then be like, hey, you may have like. I may have somebody in mind for you. How can I get in touch with you? Or can you send me a resume? And you would say, I don't have a resume, but I have a blank. Or you should do blank to get in touch with me.
Well, that's if I even want to get in. If you do. If you do?
If you do.
Then yeah, send me your number.
Or have that, or just speak with them on the phone and call it a day. Not have a physical resume.
Yeah, definitely not have a physical resume. If you're asking me for like, if you're interested or whatever, then yeah, just send me your number and call it a day. I'll call her or something like that.
Gotcha.
That's fine. But as far as like, because a lot of times it is really awkward because people are setting you up. Like you respect them, but just like you just may not be interested.
Right.
And also typically the person's trying to set you up, they think they have your best interest, but they don't. It's not like they're out to get you, but they're really trying to pitch someone they know.
Right.
And so most of the time, and I've learned the hard way, I used to trust people and just like, oh, hey, I respect you, so I'll definitely do it.
Yeah.
They're all disasters.
Yeah. I've been there too.
So can I read you the mushal that I wanted to bring up?
Yeah, totally.
I heard this from my brother. I tried to get this. Again, like, he believes he saw it in an article. I was trying to look it up right before this podcast, but Sarah wanted to start immediately. So feel free to...
First of all, we did not start immediately.
All right, fine, whatever.
And I feel like it was going to take a little bit of time.
That's true. Fine. I was too busy finding shidduch resumes and printing them out. But I just want to read a story about Rav Chaim Kanievsky. I think everyone respects Rav Chaim Kanievsky.
Yeah, sure.
So that's all.
Okay.
So Rav Chaim was very in shidduchim, right? In fact, his own story is incredible. Like, people didn't even want to, it's like unbelievable. It's, even Rav Chaim wasn't good enough. It's crazy. So Rav Chaim, after his stipler passed away, which was his father, Rav Chaim was asked to give a shir in Talmud in Gemara Yerushalmi in place of his father. His father used to give a shir. And so once the cycle ended, Rav Chaim decided not to continue the shir. He just completely paused it. He was asked why he didn't continue. Like, why aren't you continuing? I understand. Like, you don't want to, His reply was that it would take him about 5 minutes a day. This gets so funny. It would take him about 5 minutes a day to prepare, and that would be bittul Torah to him. Obviously, we all know Rav Chaim probably didn't waste a second. He was learning literally Yom V'Layla. He even considers preparing for a shir bittul Torah. And Rav Chaim, before he would set people up, would actually go visit the family and learn about the person before he made any type of shidduchim setup or whatever. It just goes to show you that these shadchanim, or whatever you call themselves, can get off their and go. Don't just send resumes. What the hell are you doing?
Right.
Here's an idea. Go look it up yourself. How about go? It's absolutely, especially if you want to get paid for this. Like, if you're legitimately, if it actually works or whatever, and you want to get shadchanis, go do the work yourself. As a salespeople, it's insulting to see.
Yeah. I feel like maybe the resumes, maybe you have a point. Like, the resumes do create, like, it's just easy, and the shadchan doesn't have to do so much work.
And again, we all know this, and you pointed to it out. You pointed to this earlier. Like, when they say guys are inundated. By the way, it gets me all by saying that. I know, like, girls get all mad, like, oh, guys have it easy. Side note: nobody has it easy. Girls have it really rough. Guys also don't have it good. I think
both parties, though, both parties have their own.
It's different.
Rough. Yeah.
It's different.
It's tough for both sides, but in two different ways.
Right. So in this case, when we're talking to get inundated with the resumes, in my opinion, it's the shadchan's job to. That's how I make matches, and that's why
it's the shadchan's job too.
Before you go into someone, you need to be prepared. You need to know the person. You should know the person that you're trying to pitch. It's kind of like selling a product in a way.
Right, but the problem is they may not know the person.
Then don't get involved.
Right.
Especially, again, I can't stress this enough. They want to get paid for this.
Some of them.
Right?
Some of them do. Some of them do. Not all of them.
I mean, they're doing it. I mean, some you think they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart or whatever. But they think that you could just send resumes all day long, and you hope to God that they pick yours and it ended up working out, and then you want to get paid. Especially professional shadchanim.
Some, yeah.
I have an idea. Shouldn't be an idea. It's not like you should know it's going to work out, but you should come prepared to the quote unquote meeting, right?
Or just be like truthful about it. Be like, I didn't personally meet this guy. I do have his resume. I remember speaking to him at one point.
Says he's family oriented.
But you know what I mean? Kind of have more of an honest approach to it rather than I have this guy. He's great. And I have his resume, and he wants a girl just like you. It's like, but you don't know. How do you know?
That's right. It's kind of like when they come to me all the time. She's just the nicest. By the way, how do you know I'm looking for a nice girl?
But also, how do you know she's nice?
How do you know she's nice? Just the nicest. Again, very generic terms. Nice. How do I know that? What the hell does that mean? You don't even know her. Right. I also asked, do you know her? No. Go screw yourself. Yeah.
But also, I will say that in situations like when they tell you like, oh, you should just go out with him. I'm sitting there like, how do you why?
We definitely spoke about it.
We did speak about
just
this.
Go out with just go out.
Oh,
you
yeah,
paying for it?
Yeah.
By the way, not to
What
mention,
do you have to lose? You know, that's
you have a
what
lot
they
to
say.
lose.
Right.
It's called trust. Why do you think when you get reference calls, why does it feel like an attack?
Right.
Because nobody trusts anybody.
Right.
And
it also feels so like
they're
formal.
They're looking for
Max,
reasons.
it feels like so formal. Like Shlomi got a reference call this week about one of his friends, and it just felt like so formal. Like not like, hi, how are you? You know, I'm just looking. I'm not so sure if it's a good fit, but tell me more. It was like, hi, I'm blah blah, and I'm like, I'm calling on behalf of my daughter. Do you have a couple minutes? And you're just like, who are you? Like, a couple minutes, okay? Like, I owe you those 2 minutes to speak to you, like.
Right, and so tell me about them. What do you want to know? The hell's the matter with you? That's always how these reference calls go.
And then,
tell me about them. What do you want to?
Right, and then
what do you want to know?
When Shlomi answered it was like a very like generic general question. She was like, "Oh, that's the only like interesting thing about him." But Shlomi was in his mind like after was like, you know, she didn't ask me for interesting thing. She just asked me how like overall. Tell me about him.
Lashon Hara gets very involved with this. Tell me about him. And here's how it typically goes. I mean, he's a great guy, just the nicest. They may say like what he does for a living, whatever, and say a bunch of blurb crap that nobody cares about, and it's not going to move the needle, right? It doesn't move the needle.
Right.
You need to ask very specific questions. Does he go to shul? Let's say you want to know if he goes to shul. You can say yes or no, right? Because it's also it's a non-biased and it's very. You should answer like very straightforward. Like, is it factual or not factual? Objective. Thank you, Shlomi.
Yeah,
whatever the word is. Meaning, if it's not objective, like when it gets to you know, he's this, he's that, and you start talking in a circle. He's this, but he's not really. He's from Brooklyn, but more out of town. What the hell are you talking about? Then you're just confusing people.
They get confused.
He's more out of town.
What are you playing with over there?
So I've got stuff I wanted to read. I want to say like how modern Machmir girls explain what they're looking for in a husband if they were being honest. And I want to read it.
Okay.
It's phenomenal.
Okay.
Buckle your seatbelts. There may be one or two inappropriate things here, but I think it's fine. Anyways.
Of course you think it's fine.
Of course, yeah. But anyways, here, fine. You know what? I'm going to ask you. I'm just going to show you one thing.
Oh, no. Just read it.
Fine.
You're okay.
All right, fine. All right. Starting off, instead of saying, is he family oriented? Is he blah, blah, blah?
Oh, is this a spoof? This is like a spoof.
This is a spoof, but
resume.
In all reality, this is actually the truth.
Okay, I understand.
So, first things first, must be tall, not short, but also not too tall, just tall enough. Tall enough for perfect eye contact, but low enough for perfect eye contact. Tall enough to feel protected, but not overly tall. Just someone who's tall, but again, not too tall. Did you get all that?
Got it.
All right. There's definitely a few things that I can't read here, but if you want to see the rest of that, just go to my Instagram, Max Landisman. I'll probably be posting more of that stuff there, but I can't say it here. Anyways, must stop. How many times do you see must? It's like a demand. Must stop him with a minion 650 times a day, but must think of me at all times. Must make $6 billion a year, but still keep Yenta status.
What's Yenta status?
Basically saying it's
humble, like humbled.
I basically just made it. I just make it what you want it. Like Yenta, like still be very Jewy, like learn all day, but yet work all day somehow.
Oh, okay. Simultaneously working while learning. Got it.
Right, but it simultaneously while also making a fortune while also being a Rebbe.
Gotcha.
Must want kids immediately after wedding.
Okay.
Must go to base medrash to learn every spare second, but simultaneously be home all the time.
Okay.
Must have gone to or wanted to go to YU just to wear tight khaki pants.
That's just a jab at YU.
That's fine. Must have smicha, and are also a doctor, and are also drop dead gorgeous, and also must wear techilas. Must fake wanting to make aliyah.
Fake it?
Yeah, it's like I want to make aliyah. Do you? I want to read my resume.
Okay.
But the spoof one.
Okay.
Here it is about.
Okay.
My friends would describe me as a nice person, especially to other people, not just to myself. I'm very family oriented, so I would expect the same from my partner. I'm looking for someone who's family oriented, nice, is family oriented and must also be nice. She should be a person that people couldn't find even one negative word to say about her, or positive for that matter, other than she's nice. She must daven with a minyan 3 times a day, but if she cannot, for whatever reason, that's fine, as long as she's family oriented. I'm looking for someone with a good sense of humor, someone who's funny but doesn't make me laugh. They must also be family oriented. They must, under no circumstances, they absolutely must have a direct relationship with a Rebbe, but if not, that's fine.
Oh, very nice.
Yep. On another one I wrote, I'm 6 feet, the first thing I wrote, I'm 6 feet tall. Hope you're into tall men, because the person reading this, that's the first thing they're probably going to want to know anyways. You know? Yeah, I wrote that. I daven 3 times a day because I figured whoever's reading this would ask. And whenever I get the chance, I like to smile. I actually also put down as a reference, I took the number of Wendy's headquarters, like the burger chain.
Yeah.
The number of the headquarters, and
Yeah.
I put the number down and called her Wendy Goldberg.
Wendy.
So when they would call Wendy Goldberg, it'd be like, thank you for calling Wendy's.
Are you serious? You put that?
Absolutely,
Oh my
100%.
gosh, Max.
And they're like, hi, I'm calling about a shidduch resume. Don't know about that. We're Wendy's. Yeah, Wendy. I'm looking for Wendy. Yeah, whatever.
Oh my
Bunch of
gosh.
idiots. Oh my gosh, it's great. It's too much fun. But overall, these resumes are a bunch of crap.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna do a resume, you know, if you want, reach out to us. If there's enough interest, I can do a small video and show you how to write an actual resume if you're gonna do that. But I still think it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Basically, we both agree that resumes are dated and need to kind of come to a halt.
Well, they should, but they aren't.
They aren't, but maybe we'll be the first to put that out there. Maybe people will stop using resumes.
Yeah, hopefully that's the goal.
And people, if people want to be set up, or if they want to set other people up, or they want to be deemed as a shadchan,
do your job.
Then maybe get to know the people a little bit better
100%.
than just collecting resumes and
forwarding them.
And forwarding
It's a forwarding
them.
machine.
Yeah, exactly. And then to be in touch with people, phone number, email, just like a regular way of communication goes a long way. None of this nonsense of a picture along with about me. Okay, fine.
Well,
if you
fine.
want the picture, Max.
I think it's important for guys. At least.
Okay, but none of this blurb about me. None
Blurb
of this
is
about
meaningless.
about my siblings. None of this about how many nieces and nephews you have, where you went to seminary, where you went to yeshiva.
Yep.
Because it's kind of blurring.
I think that's a phenomenal word for this.
But it is. It's blurring the actual person.
You're right. Yep.
And when it comes to having parents' involvement, especially the mother we know is overly involved and can be overbearing in these situations, it's like, if you do want your mother to be involved, if you feel that she is actually taking care of it, then that's great. And I hope that you guys have open communication, and your mom knows exactly what you're looking for, and she knows you inside out, and that she knows exactly what you want in a spouse. But in my knowing a lot of mothers, it's really hard to say that they would know exactly what you want.
Sorry to cut you off, but do you think it would be hilarious that there are guys that would hopefully never say this, but tell their mother, Mom, I'm looking for someone just like you?
I think that comes out subconsciously.
What?
I don't think it comes out.
Oh man, that's just it's just how do they know what they're looking for?
But also, would a guy be like, Mom, you know what really who I'm really attracted to? You know what I really want?
Yeah. That's so
do you
awkward.
really think that they will? I wouldn't tell my mom, hey, Mom, you know who I find so handsome. I wouldn't be comfortable. I wouldn't be comfortable saying that
of course
to
not.
her. I guess it
not.
depends what relationship you have.
Yeah.
But there are details in dating that I'm shocked that a mom could actually say yes or no to somebody.
It's also a lot of the times the mother is picking the person for herself, meaning it's not necessarily she's going to marry the guy or girl or whatever.
But it's going to be her daughter or son-in-law.
They feel or they think they know what's best for them.
Yes.
And they're going to pick based on that. But it may be that the son or daughter.
Or what's best for me is best for him.
Yeah, it's like stupid.
So kind of removing the in between, either if it's a mother or somebody who you see as a mother figure. I will say though, having a support system while you're dating is
It's very important.
very
There's
important.
no question.
But that there's a
It doesn't
difference.
have to be your mother.
Right,
I mean, like if
but
you're
there's
closer, then fine. But
right. There's a difference between having a support system who understands and has empathy for you, sympathy while you're going through this really just like rough and emotional process, and then having a mother who isn't there to support you in the emotional and sometimes I guess like I don't want to say physical way, but like your support system should be there to just help you and guide you and give you advice when you ask for it. But I think there's a difference between a mother just saying yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, and then having a total support system.
100%. And, you know, hopefully, I mean, thank God, like if you have good friends, like real, when I say good friends, meaning like actually good friends, not just like schmucks that they call themselves friends, but they're not.
Yeah.
To have that kind of support system and just like, because it takes a mental toll no matter what. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. I've lost some friends through either their dating or through my dating.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like you said, it's important to have friends that understand you, and like sometimes they can't, or they can't relate to what you're saying, and so you feel like a distance a little bit,
Like,
which happened to me.
you want to share that or?
No.
All right, fine.
I'm okay.
Damn it. I tried, guys. I tried.
But I do think overall, just to keep wrapping it up, what our opinions are on this is that the shidduch should get with the times, and they really should take a step back and understand the resume process, what it was there for. Because you know what, before, like my sister's generation was not dating like this.
It's so interesting, you know. Shlomi also said that like 30
they
years
were
ago,
not- they
even
were
the
not
former
dating
circles,
like this.
they did not use resumes.
Like my sister, she's yeshivish. She was in these circles.
And she is
She did
really in
she's
the most
charade,
religious, like, yeah.
And like she didn't date with a resume, and none of her friends dated with resumes.
How did it happen? How did it work?
Well, she ended up marrying her high school sweetheart.
Oh, that's
no, but it's so fine. Them aside, but I'm saying
well, they met I mean,
when
that's ultimately
they
the best
both
way.
wanted to date, they didn't ask for resumes, not for each other, but like let's say if they wanted to date somebody else, like they didn't.
They were dating other people. You're saying?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Oh, they were.
But I'm saying like in her circles, even,
Right. Even
I
when
knew her friends.
Right.
And there was none of this calling and none of this references and like these shidduch resumes and like there was nothing like this. It's our generation that's being pushed, I feel.
And just saying, there's, you know, people feel more alone than ever, feel like there's less hope than ever. And what's it called? A shidduch crisis or something?
Maybe.
Whatever. Something like that where...
Yeah, I feel like that just should be, that shidduchs just should be kinder and like...
Learn how to actually do your job.
Yeah. If they want to have a resume, then do your job about it.
Yeah. I'm curious, how did they, like, when your sister or now brother-in-law, when they were dating other people, how did it go about? Like, how did they go out with people?
It was
through
more...
shocking, or?
No, not really. It was more like... friend of a friend, I would say. It was more like that. Like their peers would be like a lot of their friends actually ended up dating each other or marrying each other. It was just like friends of a friends knew somebody, or their parents may have known somebody else and they just like set it up. It wasn't like there wasn't any background checking, there wasn't any fact checking, no references, like none of this, oh, I'll get back to you in a week or two. It was just like everything was at ease. Everything was easier. People knew each other very well.
Well, that's how, you know, I think that's how most marriages get set up, through someone you know, or a friend of a friend. Like in the case of you and Shlomi, it was, you know, Zelly called me, and that's how we kind of made that connection.
Right.
Friends of friends, this and that, whatever. It's kind of how you make connections.
Yeah.
But resumes and whatever, just, you know, if they said, well, it made so much, look how much good it's done. I'm like, you know, it's like all these resumes, how many matches were set up. And I'm like, kind of like saying, like, look at this organization. It's brought so many
Matches are different than marriages.
100 matches?
Matches are
Wait,
different
when
than
they say
marriages.
150 matches, they're not talking about marriages?
No.
Are you freaking joking?
No, they're talking about matches. Like people that
Anyone can make a match.
Anybody can make
Here, go out with her. That's a match? Is that for real?
I really think so because
I think you're right now too.
Because 150 like successful marriages is different than we made 150 matches.
Shidduch. Yeah. Anyways,
that I think that just means like people that have gone out for like over like 2 dates or 3 dates or something.
Oh my Lord. Are you serious? I need to confirm this.
Confirm it. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
No,
but
it makes sense.
Why not say marriages instead of matches?
It's like look at this. It sounds random, but it makes so much sense after when I'm done. It's like, look at this organization. It brought so many people closer to Yiddishkeit. And I'm like, yes, so did cancer. Doesn't make it good. You know, all I'm saying is that you potentially you can get a few good instances. That doesn't make the thing good. Resumes are not good, in my opinion.
Right.
Cancer has brought people close to God. Trust me. That doesn't mean cancer's good.
Okay.
Right.
Any other different thoughts of the day?
Yeah. Thought of the day. Something so interesting was people that heard the podcast.
Yeah.
And someone brought to my attention. By the way, everyone says the same thing when it comes to that idea about going on a first date, meeting them in the office or whatever.
Oh my God.
Nobody can wrap their head around that.
Because it's so intrusive.
So intrusive.
Yes. How are you going to, like, in the middle of a busy day, how the heck are you going to be able to bring your, like, have a date in the middle of the day?
So, again, for the record, I'm not saying to have the entire date there. I'm talking like show up for 20 minutes.
I know, but like having somebody show up for 20 minutes that they kind of don't know, I would say, for me, I would feel like they're breaking like boundaries.
If that's the case, then don't do it.
Right.
But
that's probably why a lot of people are like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
You don't make any sense. Not you. But
no, but you
I think
know
as a sales guy, it's so different from my perspective because it's just like, do what you want as long as you bring in money, whatever. It's just like I went to the school and I met her there. I saw her in her element for about 20 minutes, whatever. And we left and that was it. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, wow, this is what you do. This is kind of cool.
Well,
but
she was, I guess, more.
And of course, it goes without saying that obviously if your boss or company is okay with that, if it's not okay, then of course don't do it.
But it's not just about your boss and company. It's also about you.
What I found that it comes down to is someone's own insecurity about what are people going to think.
About what?
Who is this guy? Are they dating?
No, Max, people just can't physically like
I just
have a date in the middle of their work day. They're so busy.
Okay, not everyone's a nurse.
No, some but I'm not even me. I'm not even me, but I'm saying like stop everything like a lawyer. Let's say you're going out with a lawyer.
First of all, I don't recommend going out with lawyers in general.
Oh my God.
Because they are
Can I say my thought of the day?
Fine. I mean, like I feel like I'm getting bombarded, and I wanna, give my 2 cents.
Okay.
Whatever. But I'm like, okay, yeah. If you're too busy, then fine, then don't do it. I'm talking about someone who wouldn't. Someone is like, hypothetically, let's say they're not busy in a hospital. Let's say they're a nurse. They're not working. They're not busy.
And they
whatever.
tell you to come over for like.
Just come over. You want to have lunch? You want
lunch break?
You want to have? Yeah, we can have lunch in the cafeteria. I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah, I mean, if it works for the girl and if it works
it's
out,
gotta
then
obviously
fine.
work for both sides.
Yeah.
And if someone's not okay with it, then fine, that's fine. But I'm talking about like, I just don't like. You hear what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
I just don't get. Like, I just don't see what the problem is.
Would not be okay with it.
Which is totally fine.
Which is fine.
No one has to do anything.
But I mean, I
what
understand
about if they're
what
family
you're saying.
oriented? Would you reconsider?
Maybe.
I hear. Anyways, all right, fine. That's what are your 2 cents?
Oh, my thought of the day has nothing to do with shidduchim. I am on day 14 of my caffeine cleanse, and I feel
what is
like
this all about?
Absolute poo.
Boy.
My migraines are just really bad
Boy.
with my caffeine, so I've just decided to kick it to the curb.
Have you felt like it worked?
My migraines have been terrible since I stopped my caffeine, but I think that that's part of the process.
Yeah, it's got to get cleansed through.
So it's got to get cleansed, and I'm feeling actually a lot more. I feel a lot better though,
Really?
without the caffeine.
Wow.
Yeah, I would wake up and I would have like a migraine. It was so bad.
I mean, is this like today, like 2 weeks later, you're still having this, or?
2 weeks later, no, it's much better. It's much better. But oh my God, the first week was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a medical professional. Does caffeine stay in the system for that long? Like, how does that
I
work?
think they say it takes 21 days
21 days
to kick
wow.
any habit.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it could take, I think, about like 2 or 3 weeks to totally be like caffeine free.
This is interesting. So I guess we'll find out next week.
How I'm doing with my caffeine cleanse.
Yeah, because that'll be like 3 weeks by then.
Oh man. Yeah. If I can make it that far.
Yeah, shidduchim.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Until next time.
Bye.
And remember, everything will always be about shidduchim. Catch you in the next episode.